students. Today, I'm going to discuss the chapter The March King, written by Catherine Little Bakeless. I'm going to discuss the main ideas with you. 7-year-old Philip started to attend a school of music in the neighborhood. He liked his studies, but he was particularly interested in learning to play violin. It was not long before that he excelled in playing the instrument, for he was both talented and also eager to learn. But Philip did not spend all his time playing the violin. He loved to play baseball too, and that is why he got into trouble one evening when he was 11 years old. Every year, an evening concert was given by the music school. This year, Philip had been chosen to play violin solo. For several months, he had been earning money by directing a small band, so the thought of playing music in the concert did not make him the little bit nervous, and because he did not feel nervous, he did a foolish thing. Puzzled by the silence of the household, Philip ran into the kitchen. On the table, he found some sandwiches and a note from his mother. She had been called away very suddenly by the illness of a friend. She wouldn't be back until late evening. Philip looked at the clock. He would have to hurry to get to the concert on time. He washed, gobbled a sandwich, and ran to his room to dress. He looked for a shirt in the drawer where his clean laundry was kept. The drawer was empty. The laundry had not yet come back. Oh, Philip moaned forlornly. What shall I do? I can't play without a clean shirt. Suddenly, Philip realized that he ought to tell his music teacher, Professor Asputa, at once. He ran over to the school and gasped out his story. The audience began to laugh. In embarrassed confusion, Philip forgot what he was playing and stopped completely. Disaster so upset him that he rushed off the stage and sulked in a dark corner. Fighting back tears, he mumbled gloomily, I wish I were dead. Refreshments were served after the concert, but Philip was too busy to have any. He mingled with the crowd as quickly as he could, hoping to avoid Mr. Asputa. After a wistful look at the ice cream, Philip was about to slink out when a booming voice behind him scoffed, Well, Philip, you made a nice mess of it. Philip turned and found Mr. Asputa face to face. With no sympathy for poor Philip, Mr. Asputa continued unreasonably, No refreshments for you. You shouldn't have spent the day playing ball. You should have been preparing for the important work of the evening. You ought to be ashamed. Philip hung his head, sighed heavily, and trudged home. The incident left such an impression on him that he always remembered it. He never again tried to mix work and play. At 8:30 that evening, Philip went to the bakery. There he watched the bakers at work, mixing bread and making pies. Everything he saw was new to him, and for a while it seemed very interesting. The bakers impressed Philip with their speed and skill, and he was amazed at the amount of bread that was being made. Later, he grew tired and slept while the bread was baking. Very early the next morning, Philip helped load the big bakery wagon. Then he went out with the driver to deliver the bread. By 8 o'clock, he was through and went home to breakfast. Philip kept his agreement with his father and went to school that morning. After school, he did not feel like playing baseball. Too tired to do anything else, he went home and sat around until supper. Then it was time to return to the bakery, where he spent another evening very much like the first. One day, while he was practicing, a man came to the door. He said, I have been listening for 5 minutes. You play the violin very nicely. Won't you come in? Asked Philip. Thank you, I will, said the man. He stepped inside and continued, Have you ever thought of joining a circus? Why, no, sir, said Philip in surprise. I'm the leader of the band in the circus that is showing near Pennsylvania Avenue, said the man. If you should care to join us, I would be the most happy to employ you. Visions of a wonderful circus life flashed through Philip's mind. I would like to do, he said wistfully, but I don't think my father would let me go. Don't tell him, said the man. The circus man's suggestion shocked Philip. Oh, I couldn't just go off without asking him, Philip answered. Philip was certain that it was not Sunday, but he obeyed his father's request. As he went downstairs to eat breakfast, he kept wondering Why did Papa want me to put on my Sunday clothes? Mr. Sousa chatted with Philip in a friendly way until at the end of the meal he said, "We will take a walk." Then they walked towards a few blocks when Philip realized that they were headed towards the United States Marine Barracks. The boy wondered why his father was taking him there. He soon learned within an hour Philip was enlisted as an apprentice to study music in the Marine Band. Mr. Sousa had confidence in his son's strong sense of duty. He knew that the boy wouldn't desert the Marines to run away with the circus. Years sped by, and eventually John Philip became the leader of the Marine Band. This band is the official band of the President of the United States. Sousa served as a bandmaster for 5 different presidents. During these years, the big band went abroad several times and became famous all over the world. Sousa became famous as a composer. He wrote more than 100 marches and was known as the March King. Thank you.